Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Maya, and it has been a while, like a really long time since I last posted a video. So just a quick explanation on that. A couple things have happened. So I had some issues with my camera, but I got a new one. So I just got the new G7X by Canon. So I'll be doing some vlogs and just posting more often using this camera, some photos on my Instagram and all that kind of jazz. So make sure that you're subscribed if you haven't already. I post all kinds of beauty videos. I've done like some hair routines, makeup tutorials, that kind of stuff. So if you're interested, make sure that you hit that red subscribe button and click the little bell icon so you're up to date whenever I post. Anyway, so today's video, I wanted to show you guys some stuff that I recently got at Sephora and tested out with you. I have this bag right here of goodies that I got. So really exciting new products at Sephora. Some stuff is very like summery, so I'm still in the summer mood. I'm going on vacation to Puerto Rico in like a week-ish, and I'm so like in the summer mood, so I'm not giving that up quite yet. And you'll see this look is very glowy and summery, and I'm just excited to show you some of these really fun products that are pretty different from what you usually see at Sephora. So let's remove the little tissue paper. So first thing that I got is this Milk Makeup Eyebrow Fiber, eyebrow like mascara. And this one is in the color Herb. So it's like a slightly brown. So here you can see like the example. It's a bit light for like what you would traditionally think for dark hair, but I tend to go for slightly lighter colors when it comes to my eyebrows because if I'm wearing just like very natural looking makeup, just like a very clean base, it can look so aggressive if I have like these black eyebrows. It can look like Sharpie brows or just really aggressive compared to everything else being more natural. So I do tend to go for like a brown kind of shade, and I like to keep it not too warm toned. So this one's just a really nice small applicator. I'm sure that you guys have seen this one. It's almost like the Benefit one. And it applies like a really nice amount of product to your eyebrows. So we'll be using this today. Then I also picked up a new beauty blender. Actually, I have it over here wet and kind of prepared. I just love beauty blenders so much, and I love the beauty blender brand, and every time that I get like a different brand, I go back to the original beauty blender. So that's what I'll be using today. Then I got a new foundation. So I got the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. This is like a glowy foundation, and I've been all about like that summer glow hydrated look. So this has been like perfect. And I love Laura Mercier foundations because they have a really good shade range, and this one specifically, it's 2N2 Linen, is like my perfect shade. And every time that I buy any of their like foundations or tinted moisturizers in this shade, I'm like, wow, this is like perfect. It's so good for me. So this one just comes in like a really nice glass bottle, like most of their foundations do. You get this little gold cap, and it does have a pump dispenser. What I like about it is that this pump releases like a super small amount of product, which is awesome because then you really have like a lot of control. So you can see that little dot is all that is released when you click the pump. It's a little bit of like a liquidy formulation, but not like dripping all over the place either. Like it's not messy. Then I got the Fenty Beauty the concealer. I've had the foundation for a while, and I like it, especially when you want like full coverage and you want something that's like more matte. But I wanted to try out the concealer along with this more like glowy foundation, and I've used it a couple of times, so I'm showing you guys like all the boxes, but I've used these products for like a week now maybe. Let me just get it out. So this just comes in like that classic frosted packaging. It comes with like a flat doe foot applicator, and the shade has been perfect, so I really like it. Then I got two eyeshadows. So this I'm actually super excited about. These two eyeshadows, which are called Beauty Bentos. So they're actually like trios of eyeshadows. These are from Kaja, which is a new brand at Sephora. It's actually a Korean beauty brand. So I got these in two different shades, and we'll be playing with these today. So I got Hella Azalea, which is like a pink and purple kind of color. And then Poppy Champagne, which is more of like a burnt orange sunset. And just some like background on the actual product and the brand. So these eyeshadows are stacked creamy powder eyeshadows in a curated trio of shimmers or combinations of matte and shimmer shades. These two are both combinations of 2 mattes and then 1 shimmery shade. The ingredient callouts. So these are free of sulfates, SLS, NSLES, parabens, and phthalates. Sorry if I didn't pronounce anything correctly there, but yes, this brand is a very clean beauty brand. And the price is pretty decent. So each trio is $21, which when you're thinking about like eyeshadow can be a bit expensive, but when you break it down to it containing 3 eyeshadows, that comes out to $7 a piece, which is like pretty much in line with some drugstore brands. So I feel like that's pretty good. And the actual quality of these, I swatched them at Sephora, is really nice. Like the pigmentation is on point. These bouncy eyeshadows come packaged in bite-sized shimmer stacks or trios of matte and shimmer pigments that apply effortlessly with your fingertips. And that's kind of true. The shimmery shade is like super easy just to apply with your fingertip, but I would recommend trying to use a brush with the matte eyeshadows because they can be pretty intense, and if you want like it actually blended out, I don't think that your finger will really achieve that. Kaja's glitter arrangement technology delivers uniform shimmer in every swipe, perfect for quick, easy eye looks on the go. And I could totally see that with the shimmer shades. Like you can just pop something on and have like a really nice shimmery look. Let me see if they have anything else on this. So these actually come in 7 shades, and so you do have a variety of like more natural looks, and some stacks are completely shimmer, some are completely matte, but these are perfect for like getting a good mixture of both. So I really liked these 2 shades, but there's definitely some more wearable ones if you wanted some for everyday use. Although I do think that you could, you know, apply like a light color and get a more everyday look. So let's play around with these and the rest of the products that I have with me today. Overall, this brand seems really cool, so I would definitely recommend checking them out on Sephora. They also have like those little stamping liquid blushes that you have like a little heart stamp and you like pretty much stamp it onto your face. They have some like liquid eyeshadows, some like bouncy cushion highlighters, just a lot of like really innovative, cool looking products. So I think that I'll be testing out some more of their products in the future. It is a Korean makeup brand, so I also feel like their packaging and the quality of their products is really nice, so that's also a plus. Alright, so I just brought you guys in a little closer so you can see what we're dealing with today. My skin is completely bare. I just washed it a little bit ago and applied some moisturizer, but nothing really too intense. So we can get started with our makeup look today. So first things first, I'm going to use this eyebrow pencil. This is the Brow Wiz from Anastasia. I went back to this. I was like switching up my eyebrow pencils and using like the NYX one, but it was a little bit too warm toned for me. This really is like the perfect shade. This is the medium brown shade. If you guys hear like a kid screaming, it's because my apartment complex, like where I am, by the way, I moved. That was another reason why I haven't been posting as much. But I recently moved, and my apartment complex, like where I am, there's a pool right underneath. Like not right underneath, I'm on the 10th floor, but like you can still hear the kids playing in the pool all the way on the 10th floor. So if you hear anything, that's what it is. Our eyebrows are not going to be the focus of attention here, so I'm going to keep it pretty natural and wispy, and we're also going to use the Kush brow gel from Causmetics to also like make them look a little wispy. So I want to make sure that we don't have too much like of an angular structure, so they still look like feathery and a little bit like bushy. You guys know what I mean? So we're going to just fill in our eyebrows using this pencil first. Alright, so I filled them in pretty basically. I just did a little bit of like an outline, and then any areas that are like super sparse. My eyebrows are not even right now. Like I said, I need to get them done, but I didn't want to like overdraw them or make any areas too dark, so they're a little bit like different shapes, but that's okay. What we'll do is just use the brow gel to make them look a little bit more wispy, and we want to keep that super natural look. I'm just grabbing the Milk Kush Fiber Gel, and I'm going to apply that throughout my eyebrows. So just starting, I like to apply it first in like where the arch is, because that way I don't distribute too much product right here in the front where I like it to be a little bit wispier. So then after I apply that, I just like to go in with the spoolie side of my brow pencil and just feather out the front a little bit more after that's dried for a couple of seconds. That way you don't have any like areas with tons of product. You can just make sure it stays looking very natural and wispy. So before we move on to the actual eyeshadow products, which I'll be doing before my foundation, I'm gonna put some primer on my skin so that can start to absorb, and so my skin is completely ready for foundation once we're done with the eye look. For today's look, I'm going to be applying 2 different primers. So they're both like moisturizing or glowy primers. One I'm going to be using is the HangoveRx from Too Faced, which I absolutely love. And the other one, this is actually more of like a liquid illuminator, but I'm going to mix these 2 together. This is the Milani Soft Focus Glow Complexion Enhancer. And what I love about both of these is that they're super easy. They come in like little pump applicators. So I'm going to do 1 pump of the HangoveRx. And 1 pump of the Milani one. And then I'm gonna pick up the rest using my beauty blender. I want this makeup to look really fresh and natural all over the skin. So my areas I'm gonna like focus on covering up a bit more are where I have my hyperpigmentation and I have some redness. So around my nose I have some redness. These little hyperpigmentation spots you can see along my cheeks. And then, of course, like my dark circles and any acne spots. My dark circles, you guys can see, like it looks like I never sleep, but I swear I do. I get actually a good amount of sleep every day. It's just genetic, so. For the eyes, I'm just gonna go ahead and use the Fenty Beauty Concealer. I'm gonna first arch out my eyebrows using this product. So just applying right where we want that eyebrow to end, essentially. And then I'm gonna bring this down a little bit so we have like a little base for our eyeshadow. Okay, before moving on to eyeshadow, just because it's bugging me a little bit, I'm gonna clean up the top part of my eyebrow. I'm sure you guys can see there's some little hairs that need to be plucked, so I'm just gonna cover this up. So let me just show you guys both of these eyeshadows side by side so you can get an idea of what they look like. You have these 2 are matte, and then this one on top is the shimmer shade. So that's that red-orange matte tone. I'm going to start off with the Poppy Champagne color, and we'll do a look with that. So to start off with this little trio right here, I'm going to start with the medium like burnt orange shade. I'm gonna apply this in my crease just very broadly, and I just want like a nice wash of color. This is like a pretty intense color, as you can see from the swatches I just showed you guys, but I think you can definitely blend it out and get it to be more wearable if you like. So I'm gonna go in with the E40 by Sigma, which is a tapered blending brush. It's super like large and fluffy, so it's perfect for giving you like a nice wash of color. So I'm literally just tapping it and then tapping off the excess. And I'm just gonna apply this, like I said, very broadly into the crease area. I'm gonna start on the outer corner and move our way in. And to get a nice wash of color, I'm just pulling my hand back a little bit further on the barrel of the brush so that then you can really blend and you're applying less pressure to the brush itself. So if you're holding it here, it's very different in terms of application than holding it further back. So next up, I'm gonna go in with the shimmer shade. So this is just a really beautiful yellow gold with some golden flecks in it. I'm gonna apply it dry, but if you want some extra glitteriness and you want to really pop, you can definitely use a little bit of Fix Plus with your brush. But I just wanna show how these perform completely by themselves. So I'm just swiping my brush right onto the eyeshadow. And just tapping off the excess. So towards this outer edge, I'm going to leave it a little bit more bare. This does have a little bit of fallout. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's some little glitters that made their way down here. But the matte shade, I didn't have that issue. So I just think this specific, like the glittery shades might just have a little bit more fallout than the matte shades. So before we move on to that final red orange shade, I'm going to use a little bit of eyeliner. This is the Mellow Precision Pen eyeliner, and I'm going to just make a like gentle wing that then I'll use as my like shaping point for that final color in the outer corner. So with this shade specifically, I'm gonna go in with a very, very tiny like blending eyeshadow brush. So I love using these little ones for blending, but in small areas. So I'm gonna pick up just a little bit on this Vasanti brush. Just tapping it and then tapping off the excess. I'm gonna focus this on the outer corner right here. So just very gently doing like back and forth motions. If you get a little bit on the eyeliner, that's fine. You can just go back and apply a little bit more eyeliner. Blend out that outer edge of shadow. I'm gonna go back in with that burnt orange shade with my E40 brush, and I'm gonna apply a little bit here so you can see more of a distinction between the two orange shades. This M441 brush just doesn't have any product, so it's just blending with my skin essentially. I really love these eyeshadows. I'm gonna do one little different thing. I'm gonna apply a little bit of like a brow highlight just because I feel like I'm missing something. And then also once we do our concealer, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of like that orange shade under the eyes just to bring balance to my eyes, because right now it's very like top heavy. For the brow highlight, I'm gonna go in with this Wander Beauty Wanderous Seascape palette, and I'm gonna go in with this color right here, Champagne Harbor. Because I am going for like more of a glowy look, I am gonna use a shimmer shade under my brow. Yes, girl. I love it. So there's a bit of fallout, but the color itself is so pretty. Now that we have the eyes pretty much all set, before going on to like lashes and stuff, I'm gonna use my foundation. So the Laura Mercier in Linen. Now that we have our foundation all applied, I'm gonna go in with the Pro Filter Concealer by Fenty Beauty. The main thing is you'll see, I mean, I'm applying a lot of concealer, and you probably don't need to apply quite as much as I do unless you have like such dark circles like I do. It really becomes necessary to apply like a good amount. Like I can't be somebody who applies like 3 little dots and then blends it in. Like my under eyes are just such an area that needs so much attention. So this really works for me, but feel free to make it look more natural, or even skip concealer if you have like super amazing bright under eyes. You know, do what makes sense for your exact features. I'm also cleaning up this like outer edge a little bit. Like I said, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of eyeshadow underneath, but I wanna make sure that that's a controlled application. So if there's anything under here that just needs to be cleaned up, I just go right against the wing. So yeah, you guys can see it still looks pretty moist. I'm gonna use my setting powder. This is the Magic Powder by Charlotte Tilbury, the same one that I used before. What I actually really love about this is that the dispenser has like a little piece that you can move, so you can actually keep the powder in the little basin rather than always opening it up and like a whole mountain of powder being in like the cap of your powder. So I'm going to use a pretty generous amount. I'm just going to apply it using my beauty blender. Just make sure that if you are applying your powders using a beauty blender, that you wash them pretty much every time that you use them, because otherwise that powder is going to build up and it's going to be like impossible to clean properly. So looking up again, just packing on some of that powder. I'm going to use a powder brush to apply this to the rest of my face. I'm going to roll this brush onto my face. So this is the look so far. I'm really enjoying this. Like, I don't know, I'm having so much fun. So I'm going to grab this little trio again. go back in with that last, like most red orange shade, pick it up with my Visante little tapered brush, and apply some under my eye in the outer corner. Then I'm gonna go in with the golden shimmery shade. I'm actually gonna just completely skip over that mid-tone, but you could feel free to like apply that under your eye as well. For my lashes for this look, I'm gonna keep it more simple and just curl my lashes and apply some mascara. I'm gonna use the Cheek Parade. This is like an old Benefit palette, but they come out with these every so often. I'm gonna use the original Hoola bronzer just to shape my face a little bit. Then I'm gonna go in with Ofra's highlighter in Rodeo Drive. And lastly, just for a little color on my cheeks, I'm gonna use California. Again, that's from this Benefit palette. And I'm just gonna focus it on like the apple of the cheek and then pull it back. This is like the perfect shade if you want something that's a little bit monochromatic, that like pulls in with the eyeshadow. But if you want something that's a little bit different, I would go for more of like a pink shade. This is more of like a peachy color. So it is more monochromatic for sure. I'm going to be using YSL's Couture Matte Stain, and this is in the color 23. It's one of these like golden topped liquid lipsticks. But what I love about this one is it's just like the perfect nude for me. It's like a brown pink. Great for medium skin tones, so I really highly recommend this one. Again, the shade 23. So that this lipstick doesn't look so aggressive, I'm gonna blot my lips and then use MAC's Honey Love. Last but not least, some setting spray. This has been my go-to setting spray lately. I absolutely love it. This is Pixi Skin Treats Glow Mist. I got this in Ipsy. I have like the Ipsy Plus, so it's all full-size products, and this was one of the ones I received. But I'm totally gonna buy this again and again. Like, this is such a beautiful glowy setting spray. It has like oil on the top, so you need to shake it a decent amount before you apply it. But wow, it leaves your skin looking amazing. So we're gonna apply a pretty generous amount of this. This is the final makeup look. I absolutely love this look because I just feel like it feels summery, it feels fun and playful, and yeah, it's just something that's really like awesome to like go out at night and have like a pop of color, a little bit of shimmer, or out on the weekends when you're just like hanging out with your friends or whatever. This is like the perfect kind of look. It's just very effortless, especially with my mane of hair. But yeah, it's just something that you can easily do. It doesn't take like 10 years to do. It's very simple, but it looks like it took way more effort than it actually did. Like, this is 3 eyeshadows plus 1. So 4 eyeshadows, but it looks like more effort than it really is. So that's what I love about these. This is definitely something that I'll be using all throughout my trip, and just like in general, I feel like this is just an awesome little trio of shadows. They're high quality, so I definitely highly recommend them. Okay, so I want to make sure that you guys could see both eyeshadow looks. So I'm gonna now do a look using Hella Azalea. I just pretty much wiped off my eyeshadow, applied some concealer and powder. So we're starting from scratch kind of. But this look I'm gonna make a little bit more, I guess different, like a different shape to the eye. So you can have ideas of like how you could switch it up using the same exact 3 eyeshadows. So we're gonna start off with a really small tapered blending brush. And I'm gonna dip into that purple shade. So I'll show you, let me zoom you guys in. So for this, I'm gonna just tap into that like Barney purple shade and pick up a good amount onto my tapered blending brush, but make sure to kick off the excess because we really wanna avoid having anything under the eyes right now. So I'm picking up just a little bit of that purple, and what we're gonna do is start off in the inner corner of the eye with this. So It's okay if it like isn't perfect at first. We're gonna work with this. Just start off with like a small amount. You can always build it up. I'm going to go in with a fluffy blending brush. This is the Morphe, I believe, 412. And I'm going to just go around the edges of that purple to help blend the outer edge a little bit. And I'm picking up this hot pink Barbie color. So I'm going to stamp this in the center of the lid, right where everything is blank. Alright, now that we have that base down, I'm going to go ahead and apply with my fingertip the lightest like pink glitter, silver glitter color. So that's a swatch of what it looks like. In person, you can see the pink a little bit more than I think this camera's picking up because I do have a light behind the camera. I'm just gonna apply this using my fingertip right to the center of my lid. And the pink really pops, especially on top of that other pink shadow. I'm gonna apply some more of that hot pink around the edges of the shimmer just so we can get this to look really smooth. To balance this out, or maybe because I'm addicted to shimmer, I'm taking that same color from the Wander Beauty Wondrous palette, the Champagne Harbor. I'm going to apply a little bit under my brow. You can also go with a matte shade if you want this to be a little bit more subtle. Obviously this isn't subtle at all, this whole look. Okay, so I'm back. I have some lashes and some mascara on. Everything's really top heavy right now on my eyes, so to balance this out, we're gonna apply some shadow underneath and then apply mascara underneath, which I haven't done yet. To mirror what we have on the top of our eyes a little bit more closely, I'm going to take this dark purple Barney shade and just apply this to the inner and outer corners on the bottom lash. This is our final look. This is using only the Kaja Beauty Bento in the shade Hella Azalea. So I didn't use any other secondary shades this time. Literally just this, and look what a complex, beautiful look you can put together that is perfect for like going out when you really, really want to do the most. You have that option with just these three little eyeshadows. Are super easy to travel with, easy to use. I feel like this looks like a lot more effort than was actually put into it, which is awesome. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this makeup look and just trying out these new products from Sephora. Let me know what you thought down below in the comments. If you love these eye looks, make sure to give me a like and subscribe by hitting the red button. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.